Well, I mean, at least PrizePicks. I mean, they're trying right now to gain interest with adding more stuff. They've added new.
Yeah, I think baseball is going to be hard for anyone to like for prop betting because it's so hard. Like, the variance is nuts.
Yeah.
And then it's already scummy how baseball, and it's not them, it's just the way Vegas is, like total bases. That doesn't include stolen bases or walks or nothing like that. It's straight up bases you earn off of a hit. So like, say you got action on Mike Trout to, go over 1.5 total bases, and he draws 3 walks and flies out to the warning track. Like, you get nothing to show for it. So it's a little tougher. At least in basketball, you have 32 minutes of catch up. You get 4 events, sometimes 5 or 6 in baseball. I forgot it's all showdowns tonight, so I don't need to do points anymore. I think a walk should be a base for betting because it is a base on ball. You earn that base.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's the double zeros, right? Roulette table. Gotta have the zero, gotta have the double zero.
Yes, sir.
God dang, it's hot up in here.
Yeah, so is Bauer really suspended for 2 years?
Yeah, evidently. I don't know about the case or why, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep over him. I don't really like the guy.
Yeah, I don't like the Dodgers.
He got me blocked on Twitter on a few accounts.
I remember that. I remember you talking about that. Yeah, it looks like Quinn Snyder going to the Lakers, like people thought.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna lead to like some ugly, drawn out legal process. Who knows? Alright, updated projections. I wasn't able to throw this video around or link it around, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Roll with it, bro.
Nothing that can be done. What are you gonna do? It is hot up in here. Here. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. It is April 29, 2022. I hope this stream, finding you well. And I hope you had a good night last night. Let me turn this here. All right, boom. I'm Gun. Twitter.com/Gundacker. Joined today by the mad scientist, the ghost pepper eater, the eater of peppers. In wrestling, Bray Wyatt's the eater of worlds. You're the eater of peppers. Josh, so what's up, dude? Did you? I saw. I mean, can I show your screenshots? I guess.
Sure, bro.
I saw you had a fun night last night, right? There was some pain, but there was some bouncage of the backage. Let me open up the rundfs.com PrizePicks channel. Let me scroll up. By the way, if anybody out there is like a mod or something in one of these Discords, maybe push out the noti and the link that we went live. So Josh says Clarkson's my new hero. Here's $1,000 bump on Toby over 32 fantasy points, Scotty Barnes over 30, Jalen Brunson over 3.5 free throws, you sick freak. Jordan Clarkson over 24 fantasy points. Dude, somebody DM'd me on Twitter, was sweating his PRA, and he got hooked, and that's rough. $1,000 card here, a $2,000 card here. Hey, water's wet, sky's blue. Josh made a bunch of money on prop betting, and what else is new? Huh?
I mean, yeah, those were all our favorite props that we finished the stream with yesterday. And Clarkson was a sweat though, man. I mean, he had I think he had around like 13 fantasy points at the end of the third quarter, and so I thought it was just dead in the water because I max bet on him and went all in on his fantasy points. I had one card with his first half, which was 12, and he finished the first half with 11.9. So that kind of hurt. I mean, he had one turnover, so if he didn't have that turnover, could have made a little bit more. He just like basically went off in the fourth quarter and dominated all the usage. So I'll take it, man.
Let me push out this video on a few social medias. Live with Josh talking NBA. Send that out. Let's put you in the PrizePicks Discord. So I was looking at tonight, and tonight has just one game for NBA, but they did add a whole lot of different things we can go after. I know DraftKings and FanDuel. DraftKings has like showdowns, first quarter stuff like that. We're seeing that on PrizePicks as well. So it's an added layer of potential edge because we go through these minute rotations. This is what has been fruitful for us for first half, second half prop stuff like that, especially those first half overs. So maybe we can buy into some of the NBA first quarter props that are up here. Let me bust open the add more funds. We'll get minute rotations up. And so you did a video today, chat. He did one. Yeah. But he sent it to me like 10 minutes ago. Well, basically. Like,
no, I mean, it was my fault. I made it. Oh, I started it last night, the process and the research on it, and then I started working on another video that people are asking for, and I want to get pump out for everyone. And I was thinking about like combining them and just like having the first part be like this video where break down like how I construct cards and bankroll and stuff like that, like manage like how much I put in each night. And I thought I would have that as the first part, and then the second part would have the game tonight. So then if the people wanted to watch that first part in the future, they just won't watch the second. But then you brought up a good point. You should probably keep them separate. So that kind of held me back, and I'm close to finishing that video though, the one for the prop card construction and strategy. So
yeah, I definitely think some like long-term strategy stuff like it get lost in a one-day video, but we can have some more evergreen stuff. Let's see, chopping up tonight's NBA game with Josh. Watch, we will control. So you see they have this $100 deposit bonus.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna just be promo money that you get as the bonus, but
yeah, I mean that's what all the deposit bonuses are. So
yeah,
if you guys didn't know about that, maybe check your email. If you're a long time user of PrizePicks, they are adding a nice little deposit bonus. And I was wondering if they would do this every now and then, especially maybe for their content creators, because you get you signed up or whatever. But like, it's a repeatable added bonus, and yeah, shout out to them. They're always coming up with something cool, unique to pay you guys back. So shout out to you. Shout out to the live chat. Shout out to Robert Bickerstaff, Kiefer in the chat, Vince Jefferson. Okay, buddy. Underrated World Suave, Skimmer in the chat, Ariel, Exit, Screaming. Who else? Aguida, Mike Haberman, man, shout out to you guys. Brian Medina says Brandon Clark 20+ points and the game goes overtime. Good luck. Was that a 2-pick single game parlay? Good luck, man. Hopefully it goes to overtime. So let's go look at the board today. Just one game, like we said. So hopefully we don't spend 5 hours chopping this one up, Josh.
Oh, we could.
I got a tight schedule today. I gotta do the Discord chat, the voice chat. I got Osmo live before lock. I got to enter my lineups. It's a massive baseball slate, so I'm gonna need you to be done within 30 minutes. Can we do that?
Man.
With 30 minutes
All right.
for one game?
Let's get hunting, bro.
Let's get hunting. All right, so let's pull up the T-Wolf side here of this game. So this is this is the game, right? We've been all over this game for
the only game.
I mean, yeah. 46 fantasy points on Karl-Anthony Towns, 2.5 assists for him. We've got half a steal, 2.5 blocks and steals, 1.5 block shots. So we haven't really seen this, right? They're divvying up the blocks and the steals. So this is kind of weird. By their projections, they're implying him for 2, right? 2 blocks and steals, while also having a 2.5 blocks and steal prop. So maybe we can find some contradictory projections based on their own model. They got Edwards at 35 fantasy points. They got Edwards at half a block shot, 3 free throws, 3 rebounds. For D-Russ, they've got 2 free throws for D. Russ. Patrick Beverly, we've been attacking his fantasy score. They got him at 26 fantasy points, and that's been something we've been interested in, especially when the crowd is on his side, like they should be tonight. I've got Beverly for 35 fantasy points in my early projections. Let's get hunting, man. What's standing out to you on the T-Wolves full game? And then maybe we'll look at first half and first quarter, because there are some rotation quirks that maybe we can take advantage of.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so T-Wolves, I think, I'm just gonna write out Cat. I know it's risky with his foul trouble, but I mean, this is do or die for him at home. So I'm thinking his fantasy point, the 46, probably like the most because of the stock potential against Memphis. And just hope, yeah, he just doesn't foul out. I don't know if you noticed in that last game. So Memphis, one of the adjustments they made and tried doing was they put Dylan Brooks on Cat, which was kind of interesting. And I think they did it because Cat was, like I said that the other day, the game before that game, most recent game, I said that Cat was playing at the high post a lot, facing the basket and not going down the low block, so they could get away with playing Brooks on Cat up at the high post. I mean, if Dylan Brooks keeps guarding him, Cat needs to be aggressive. He needs to get him in the low post. He needs to post him up and draw fouls that way and attack at him and attack the basket. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see if they keep putting Dylan Brooks on him at certain points in the game. Makes me like Cat even more. Some mismatch in size in the post. So I'm gonna go with this 46 fantasy points, and then so I noticed there's a big discrepancy, and it's very consistent between underdog and PrizePicks today. So pretty much every underdog prop is juiced, depending on the prop. Like if it's points and fantasy points and PRA, it's juiced by 2 or 3 on underdog, and then it's 2 or 3 less on PrizePicks. So there's some things to take advantage there. So maybe some unders on underdog and overs on certain guys on PrizePicks. Just for example, Morant's at 42.5 PRA on PrizePicks, and then on underdog he's at 45.5. Everyone's pretty much in this game. Everyone's points are about 2 or 3 differential between the two sites. And I mean, and if you look at the sports books, it looks like just in general, PrizePicks is going about on average 2 less than even the books. So I think PrizePicks is trying to adjust for maybe people playing more unders lately in these playoffs with the pricing being so tight. But yeah, so the other T-Wolves guys I like would be Ants 3-point prop, especially if they're trailing, he's gonna chuck it. And his rebounding is interesting too. So they have him at 4.5 on PrizePicks. And I've seen on the books, some books they have him at 5.5. He's gonna play all the minutes he can handle tonight, and he should be active on the glass. And then I'll probably stick with those 2 low numbers because I think with the points you just have to worry about Cat dominating the usage. And then what was that? Oh, and then Pat Bev was my second favorite to Cat's fantasy for his fantasy points being at home elimination game. We know Pat. He's a dog. He's gonna go down fighting. So I probably like that. It's probably a core piece too. The 26 fantasy points.
Yeah, I think that's the one that stuck out to me immediately, so I'm going to add that to my notepad over 26 FPS.
Can you get behind some Cat, or are you worried about foul trouble or fouling out?
I think I could. The last couple games, he's looked a little bit better. He's been staying out there longer, learning to control himself. Did get to 5 fouls last game, but that is what it is. He's going to pick up fouls. It happens. I think it just comes down to him playing smart basketball, and I think he was able to sit around and regret the way he was. Some of those fouls were just unnecessary, right? And they were all on him.
Yeah. He gets way too many offensive charges, like offensive fouls. He needs
Yeah. So I could get behind him here, and I don't know. What are you thinking? Fantasy points on him?
I think so, just because he has shown the block upside. Because we know Memphis, all season long have given up the most blocks along with the Rockets. So
All right, I'm gonna add Carthy Towns over 46 FPS on that. So on my list right now, I just got Pat Bev and Cat fantasy points.
Do you want any Ant-Man's props?
Man, him and D-Russ have been hard to nab here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna go off of your gut later, but nothing screamed at me. How about this? Before we look at first quarter props, let's look at the rotation. Let's let the gut do the driving. You know what I mean? So last couple games, we're looking at straight up first quarter. Anthony Edwards has played the entire first quarter. Last game, most of the first quarter of the game before. Most of the first quarter of the game before, and then Jared Vanderbilt, he played. I think he picked up 2 quick fouls here. In that last game, no, he just got subbed out for Jaden McDaniels. That's intriguing. That's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's so random though. It's risky, like the rotation between him and McDaniels.
Okay, doesn't look like there's a super predictive constant on the Timberwolves rotation, at least not in the first quarter to the first half. So maybe there's not an egregious. I don't know. I guess Jaden McDaniels did see run in the first quarter of the last game, the game prior, and the game prior. But it comes down to when the dead ball stoppage is. You know what I mean? Second half of the first quarter. So nothing screaming at me there. And then first half props. Did you like any? First of all, are you? Is this game competitive to you? Are we getting 4 quarters? I think we get 4 quarters no matter what. But do you see Memphis blowing them out? I guess it's the question.
I don't. If I had to put money on that, I would say no. I in my opinion, the T-Wolves should have won this series 4-1. I think they blew 2 games. I'd give 1 game to Memphis, the when they blew them out in Memphis. But yeah, I think it should be. I think the series should have already been over for the T-Wolves. So and it's at the Target Center. So
Okay.
I like for them. Yeah.
1 to 1.5 point spread is what the books have it at right now. So that's fair. All right, and then let's look at the first half props here for the T-Wolves before we jump on to the Grizzly side. We got Cat at 23 fantasy points in the first half, which is even a split in half his full game prop. Okay, and the thing that makes them scary on that is they're more likely to sit him in the first half and foul trouble than second half, right? Like
yes.
Second half, there's no you're not saving for nothing. But in the first half, he picked up 3 in like the second quarter. He'd be down, so I'd be scared on that first half prop. Edwards is at 17.5 first half fantasy points. Let's see, Patrick Beverly is at 13 first half fantasy points. Maybe he sets the tone early, but I don't feel like we're getting a great deal on anything specifically. So. As much as we love this game, man, the props feel pretty appropriately priced.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would go back to PrizePicks really favoring the unders, because they have D'Lo all the way down to 14.5. The books have him at 16.5. Underdog had him even at 17 at one point, but he's at 16.5 now. He's at 14.5 on. That's the lowest I've ever seen for him. I know he's struggling in this series, but. Shooters are going to shoot, and you have them projected for over 19 points, which is the season average.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's jump on to the full game Grizzlies. Ready for that? And before we do that, let me get caught up on chat so there's not any nuggets I'm missing out on. Cole says already got his deposit bonus. That was quick. Let's go. Cody says Malik Beasley over 2 rebounds. The stats are definitely there to back this one up. Guard rebounds are fluky, but in a pace-up spot, 2 is a low number, so I wouldn't talk you off of that if that feeling in your bad knees putting you that way. Cole says Vanderbilt 1.5 points first half, first quarter, not half. Yeah, I mean you're just hoping for a bucket at that point. I guess that's not crazy. Man, we are some degenerate people,
and that's why they're throwing these up, man.
Bro, do you remember the Super Bowl for PrizePicks? They had props for everything, dog. Everything. Yes. I feel I can only imagine what the board's gonna look like for the finals, for the NBA finals here. So Jared Vanderbilt first half. So you're hoping for 1 putback dunk, 1 something, and yeah, if you just want to sweat 1 bucket, sure. I guess I wouldn't talk you off of that. Yeah, I guess it's worth a few cards.
I mean, yeah, a lot of his points come from fast break, or like alley oops or where he's cutting to the basket. So it's random.
It is. I'd put some stake on that, right? Just one
Sure.
bucket, one putback, one something. Vanderbilt. We'll go over 1.5 first, or 1 cube points. Now he fouls too. Don't forget that, but he's not needed to play 40 minutes. So, all right, going back.
This is just first quarter anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Right off the
Yeah.
rip, get you a putback. What about Beasley over 7.5 points? I'm lukewarm on Beasley. I don't necessarily. I don't ever really get to Beasley unless like
His rotations are so weird too.
Vanderbilt doesn't score. I mean, a couple dunks. Right? You just need one. Just need one. All right, Grizzlies lineup. That's not a core play, by the way, Chad. That's just something I think it's.
It's a gun special.
God dang it! It's worth the sweat. All right, Grizzlies side. We're getting 49 fantasy points for Ja Morant, 8.5 assists. So, from what I remember, Ja was listed at 9.5 assists on Underdog.
I'm telling you, everything's juice, bro.
They also have him at 53.35 fantasy points on Underdog while having him at 49. So, yeah, if you like unders, go line shop Underdog today because they're going to give you a little bit more of a roof to stand under. But PrizePicks also has 19.5 real points for Desmond Bane. They got Ja Morant at half a double-double. Let's see, Dylan Brooks at 24 fantasy points. Desmond Bane's at 3 free throws. Jaren Jackson is at 25 fantasy. Man, that is so low, but it has been a struggle to keep him on the court.
Yeah, right? Fouls out 2 games in a row.
Half a steal, 2.5 block steals. We know he can definitely get blocks. Brandon Clark is at 30 fantasy points. He has been kind of, an unsung hero. I don't know. I wouldn't give him the MVP because Ja Morant, was doing his thing. But Brandon Clark, yeah. But he's absolutely been a pivotal part of this Grizzlies series.
Yeah.
So 30 fantasy points is still attackable. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean he's just crushing them on the offensive glass. How many offensive rebounds does this guy get and put easy putbacks? But yeah, I mean that 30 fantasy points is definitely juice from where he started. But I mean he's playing if stays out of foul trouble, early foul trouble, he's gonna play 35 plus minutes. So a guy playing at the 5, where his minutes are more than the fantasy projection, I can get on that. But his points are really low on PrizePicks. They have him at 13.5. The books and Underdog have him at 15.5.
Yeah, and he's been flirting with that too, so I don't mind that. I'd probably take. I'd probably throw in a net over the fantasy here, but he's definitely one of my favorite players to target. I have him at 38 fantasy points, so I still get an 8-point cushion between my projections there. Also, I'm at double-digit rebounds. And they have him at 8.5 rebounds, so I get 1.5 rebound bonus there. Was Underdog got him on rebounds? Anything? Oh, Brandon Clark's grayed out right now. They hear me. They have him at 8.5 rebounds too, but that's grayed out. Maybe they're gonna boost that. 23.5 points in rebounds for Brandon Clark. 15.5 points. So, yeah, I like these Brandon Clark numbers, so I'm gonna add Brandon Clark to my short list here. I'm gonna put FPS first, but I'm okay with switching it later if we needed to. Brandon Clark over 30 FPS. And then what's your lean on maybe Ja? I had been working on Ja unders. I didn't take the unders last game because I thought it was finally too low. It's kind of like Embiid yesterday. I was like, okay, now we're getting too crazy with these lines, and Embiid smoked them yesterday. To see Ja at 49 fantasy points and all these numbers are kind of appropriate, especially that 24.5 real points. I'm probably done betting unders here. But he has been a guy. He's been a guy that attacks the paint, and if they put up that wall in the paint, it's going to be hard to get through. I have him at 56 fantasy points on 40 minutes, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7.5 assists, a 41.7 PRA. So all those numbers pretty linear with PrizePicks. So I'm not seeing a big edge to drive a wedge into. And we say that these studs in these games are going to get juice prices, and they're trying to, those are the guys, the casual guys want to go bet. But what stood out to you other than Brandon Clark, if anything, for full game Grizzlies?
I like Morant's assist on PrizePick. It's at 8.5. I think tonight in Minnesota, I think they're gonna sell out to try to stop him from driving to the basket and getting those layups, which killed him in that last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. last game. I don't think they want to get burned again by that. So I think they're going to go back to their original plans of stopping all those cutting lanes for him and build that wall. And so I like Morant's assists even more. Because we saw what happened when they did that. Morant, what did he have that game when they first started doing that? Like 15 assists or something crazy like that. Yeah, 15 assists. I mean, yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with the 8.5 assists. They have him at 9.5 on underdog, so I probably would stay away from that there. And then I like I like his rebound prop, but if I was gonna consider his rebound and assist, then I might just think about the double double prop because he could get it done the double double in multiple ways. He could have it with points plus rebounds or points plus assists because he's almost averaging a triple double in this series. Um, I mean, yeah, I think there was like one game he got hooked from a triple dub. So I think the double double. I know you traditionally like it when the other lines are at 10, but it just makes sense since there's a variety of ways that he can get there. And then Bane, I like Bane's 19.5 points on PrizePicks. The books and other ones have him juiced by 1. And I mean, we know he's going to be dominate the shot volume from the perimeter and the 3-point attempts. Yeah, I think that's pretty low for him. He's going to play huge minutes, 40 minutes, so I like that. And then if you want a lower prop to sweat for him besides this like 3-point prop, he could go with his free throw prop. And the reasoning for this is that he takes the technical free throws, and when it's close to the end and they need to ice the game, they look to get him the ball because when he's on the court with their main closing unit, he's the best free throw shooter they have. Because we know Morant's not a good free throw shooter. Majority of the Memphis squad is not good at free throw shooting. So if Vegas has him as like 1 or 2 point favorites, if this game goes down to the wire and Minnesota's fouling, he could clear that through that way. And then yeah, Clark was my other favorite with the, like I said, 13.5 points in the fantasy. And then Tyus Jones, I was looking out for his props and they came out and they have him at 18 fantasy points, and he's been picking up more minutes lately because of Jaren Jackson fouling out. So when Jaren Jackson has fouled out the last 2 games in the fourth quarter, Tyus Jones has checked in for him, and then as a result, Tyus Jones closed with the closing unit. So he would have missed out on key minutes if Jaren didn't foul out in those games, and so that kind of makes me nervous. Because yeah, Jenkins last game just was holding back Tyus and not playing him for some reason, and was kind of ridiculous because when Tyus was out there, he was very effective in playmaking. So I'm probably gonna hold back on his fantasy point, which I really wanted, but I might consider his 3.5 assists, because if he's out there playing with guys like Morant and Bane, which he has been, it just increases his chance of finding them and clearing that assist prop. I mean, I think he's averaging about 4 assists in this series, so I do like that for him. And then yeah, Jaren Jackson, I think with his foul propensity, and he's just not involved in taking that many shots in this series. I mean, when he is, it's just from the 3 ball. So I'm probably gonna stay away from him. And man, did Dylan Brooks have one of the worst shooting nights? Him and Trey were like identical that night in terms of shooting. He was like 2 of, what was it, like 15 or something like that. It was crazy. And I mean, just knowing how basketball is and the variance, I watch him come out tonight and go like 80% from the field, 5 of 7 from 3 or something crazy like that. Once everyone gets off of him because of a bad shooting night, but I'm probably just gonna stay away from him, and I just trust Bane more, just with his shot volume and his field goal percentage being much better. So yeah, I'll give me Bane, Clark, Morant, and some Tyus assist.
All right, nice little breakdown there. Let's get caught up on chat. George, can I please get y'all thoughts on Ja getting a double-double? I think you touched on that. Majority of the guards in the league can't shoot free throws. It is weird, right? they can they can hit half court heaves or 360 dunks, right? He left Vanderbilt out last game. Memphis made a run, grabbing extra boards. What up, Shot Swat? Thoughts on Cat over 10.5 rebounds?
Yeah, I had that on the early look video list because I mean, yeah, he's got to be played super aggressive out there in a must-win game. So I get it. But the only thing is like there's less opportunity for offensive rebounds when he's playing at the high post and taking those perimeter shots. So you could lose out on some offensive boards, but yeah, I mean, it's a good prop.
So looking at the last couple games for the Memphis Grizzlies, first of all, one of the constants is that Ja Morant or Desmond Bane tend to play like the whole quarter. And that's been kind of the case the last couple games. Ja Morant has a couple full first quarter stints. I think Ja Morant, a couple games back, he only had he had 2 fouls, so maybe that got him yanked early. But they do have some really, really tempting lines for first quarter props on PrizePicks, such as Desmond Bane 5.5 real points, Dylan Brooks 3.5 points, Jaren Jackson 2.5. I mentioned he's been chucking threes. The Brandon Clark 2.5 points, so that's not as fun as the putback there for Jared Vanderbilt. But Brandon Clark has been getting run in the first quarter. Usually instantly tags in when Jaren Jackson gets his fouls right off the rip, right? But we were kind of expecting a lot for him to come in the first quarter.
What about Tillman? I was trying to find a consistency ever since Adams has been gone, and I can't find it. Like the most recent game, he played over half of the first quarter, but then the game before that, he played just 2 minutes.
And he got
two
fouls right off the rip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, but then what?
And then he didn't start the game before.
So if we think that if he doesn't foul like he did last game or the game before that, and he plays this normal 5 minutes or 7 minutes, what do they have in the first quarter?
I don't think they have anything on him. They don't have anything on him. They have just Ja, Bane, Brooks, Triple J, and Clark.
Yeah, because the numbers would be so low because his first half is already so low. It's like what is it? 2.5 points, is it?
Yeah, it was basically you might get the
five fantasy points for the first half.
Let me see where I feel like Tillman might be up here in these fouls for 36. It's kind of crazy how many Memphis. Jaren Jackson's second in the league in fouls for 36. Cat is third. Then we have looking down, we have Desmond Bane's up here as well. Memphis just plays a gritty style of defense. So I probably don't want to get to those. The Clark one is intriguing because he could be the quick insurance plan for not just Jaren Jackson, but Xavier Tillman as well. However, they could go Kyle Anderson depending on what's out there. That's a great point. His rotations have been so weird, man. Like some games he plays like no minutes, and other games he gets spiked minutes, and I assume that's because of foul trouble. He's gaining more minutes. Yeah. They also tax us on Desmond Bane first half fantasy, but that's something he's cleared in his last 3.
He's cleared everything in his last 3, right?
Yeah. And then on Brandon Clark, they have him at 15 first half fantasy points. He hasn't been as consistent on that line. 6.5 real points for him. I don't know that I want to dissect this game or split it up into quarters because there is, especially on the Memphis side, they have shown, one, the foul problems create just ripple effects of moves that need to be changed, and 2, they've been making coaching adjustments. We've seen them change up lineups. So they're not as predictive as maybe some of these other teams are. So I don't probably have a lot of interest in first quarter T-Wolves here. I probably think this game stays close enough the whole game that I'd be more so invested in full game props, and I think is that your approach too? I could get behind the Vanderbilt first quarter dunk, though. Just something fun to sweat. It's like the Giannis 3, right? Just hit one putback, one something. All right, and that's the game. So we need a Let me go over a list here. In my list, I wrote Beverly over 26 fantasy points, Cat over 46, Vanderbilt over 1.5 first quarter points, and Clark over 30. Those are the ones we talked about that I thought, okay, I'm digging it. I know you have a longer list, and you're going to have plenty of different cards mixing and matching and correlating and stuff like that. Would you want to nominate anything that I didn't just mention as something that you like a lot?
Yeah, I would say Morant's 8.5 assists, and then Bane's 19.5 points. Although I would say it's like 1A, 1B with his 19.5 points and his fantasy points too, because I mean he's so active on defense.
All right, cool. So I typed that in here, and then chat. Remember, Underdog. We also have a deal with Underdog. If you guys also want to get some prop action, I mean with the deposit bonus on PrizePicks, you can double $100 again today. And if you're not on Underdog, you can double $100 over there. You can 3x bankroll just like that. No, it's 2x math. You can 2x your bankroll just like that, and then you can line shop because, as we said, we're getting different lines. They're not 1-to-1. It's not boring. I like it on this site, that site. We're seeing differences in these lines. So if you are into unders, you're probably going to get some better unders over here. And they also spice it up a little bit on Underdog, giving you the rival. So they don't have the first half of the first quarter props, but they will pit players versus players. Karl-Anthony Towns plus 4.5 PRA versus Ja Morant on the board. Ja Morant plus 3 rebounds versus Cat straight up. Edwards PRA versus Desmond Bane PRAs on the board. A lot of fun stuff here. So check out the rival one. They also have Beverly versus Ja Morant 3-pointers made. Like I said, Ja Morant, he wants to go to the rack. Beverly can chuck 1, 2, 3, something like that. So yeah, and they have it for baseball as well. So might as well diversify your daily spend, your portfolio. If you sign up using that link in chat, hit me up in the free Discord and let me know that you did sign up using it. Send me a screenshot, something like that, and we'll add a nice little member roll next to your name. If you're not in the free Discord, you should be. Shout out to Naj, Terminator, Rex, Ultimate Blue, Kendu, Francis Way, Seabass. Kikas, a lot of you guys joining in lately, and then we've been seeing a lot of discussion all day long in here. So the conversation continues, not just for the hour or two a day we're live on this channel. You guys can be in there 24/7. Keep the vibes high, man. It's all good vibes only. Getting caught up on chat, then we'll get out of here. Can you do a quick repeat your thoughts on Clark? Missed that part. We like Clark. Clark's been the guy that can tag in and be he's more trustworthy, really, than Jaren Jackson has been. So we like him. I do have the over in my projections on his fantasy points, even though it is up to 30. Cody says Anthony Edwards over 3-3-pointers, question mark. You like that, Josh?
Yeah, I had that on the list. I mean, he's going to chuck it from 3. And yeah, he's going to be needed tonight for his 3-ball for sure. And one thing I missed on the T-Wolves real quick before he closes, a secondary piece guy would be Vanderbilt rebounds, because the T-Wolves are gonna have to crash the glass harder. They got absolutely destroyed on offensive glass by Clark. They can't do that again. That's another big reason why they lost that last game, besides having 20 plus turnovers. So I think they're gonna have that really aggressive mindset to focus on the glass, and Vanderbilt is probably their best rebounder. So yeah, you could consider his 7.5.
Yeah, there you go. Aguita says, I like D'Lo PRA under on Underdog. His line on PrizePicks last night was 26.5, and it moved down to 24.5. Okay. Can we look at some Underdog lines like rivals and fantasy? Yeah, so like we were saying, I think you can take a lot of the substance of what we just talked about. And if you are an under better, and that's fine. Hey, unders are probably more profitable long term. You get some opportunities at higher lines on Underdog, such as the Ja Morant assists, the Ja Morant fantasy points, stuff like that. If you're leaning the under on some of these guys tonight, go take the higher line. Why wouldn't you? Brandon Clark's at 23.5 points and rebounds over there, which is like attackable if you wanted to substitute fantasy points. 23.5 PNR. What do I got him at? I got Brandon Clark at 10.5 rebounds, 13. So that's 23. That's 24. So I'm slightly on the over. And then for fantasy, we could throw in a couple blocks and steals. So That's what we got. Sitting at 27.5 PRA underdog right now for DRS. That makes sense. All right, chat. I got to get into rundfs.com VIP voice chat, talk some baseball, get my player pool for baseball going. I did have a couple props on baseball that I kind of hinted out. I don't have like super strong ratings on this, but if you're just looking for stuff to throw in the mix, I did have Tyler Megal over 5.5 Ks, Mad Bum under 3.5 Ks, Aaron Sanchez under 3 Ks, Red Sox under half a run first inning with that game, Tim Anderson over 5.5 fantasy points, Kluber under 88.5 pitches, and there was a couple other no-run first innings I was looking for, but they didn't list it. So I can't stress this enough. I probably wouldn't mix any of this with your NBA because of baseball's variance, but I did do some digging on those games. But yeah, I got to get into rundfs.com Discord voice chat. I'm going to be on the Osmo live before lock for baseball later today, so if you're sweating some baseball, you can hang out with me even longer. And then tomorrow, Josh, what is tomorrow's NBA slate looking like? Nothing tomorrow. Okay, so we get a day to recharge, maybe work on some evergreen content and hang out a little bit, and work on baseball.
Yeah. Did you want to? Yeah, I guess what? I guess Sunday. That's a day off, so then we'll just get back at basketball on Monday.
Yeah, as long as there's. I mean, evidently you're cool to talk about one game slate. So we do get. I mean, we're about to spice it up with new games, right? So it is going to be
two a night, I think, for most nights.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Hey, who wins this game? I'm sure you're gonna watch it, right?
Yeah, I'll probably check it out. But I will say the Yankees game starts an hour later tonight, so I care about that more.
Yeah.
Man, I want to see this game. I want to see the Minnesota win this game, and we got to have a game 7 for this one, right? We got to.
Yeah.
So hopefully Minnesota and Patrick Beverly can put it together, man. I'm watching from 23 minutes into the stream, so I'm behind. Can y'all please drop thoughts on Jaren Jackson Jr. hitting over 5.5 rebounds? It's foul trouble. I'm avoiding any Jaren Jackson just because I can't trust him to stay on the court.
Yeah.
So that's me. All right, chat. Appreciate you guys making part of our afternoon, be part of your afternoon. If you're a YouTube channel member, look for the prop detector in the Discord. Make sure you link your account there. If you are a joined member, if you would, hit that like button on your way out. And, yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great day. Tell somebody you love them because I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Busy day.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I'm going to find some food, too, something quick. Maybe a Hot Pocket.
All right. Cool, man. Well, I'll catch you in the chat then.
All right.